If I ask you this thing about anybody who's trying to build something, you're trying to build Zipro, or let's say, to summarize it, trying to solve a problem at a global level, what would be your raw, unfiltered advice to that person? Last question that I would love to ask you, Akshay, to summarize this whole podcast, because we have talked about the mindset, we have talked about what Zipro is trying to do, we have talked about कि एक founder को क्या रखना चाहिए अपने दिमाग में. If I ask you this thing about anybody who's trying to build something, you're trying to build Zipro, or let's say, to summarize it, trying to solve a problem at a global level, what would be your raw, unfiltered advice to that person? He can be first generation entrepreneur, second generation, third generation, whatever it is. But as per your experience so far, what should be your one-liner or two-liner for that person?
Never sleep on ideas. If you have an idea, just
Love
go
that.
for it. Even if you're working, you're doing a job, or you're doing some other business, or whatever it is, start building. Start with your research. Okay, do your basic research. Start speaking to your first potential customers who you see would be buying that product or that service, and you'll get enough insights. No report or available online would give you any insights, would give you more insights than what insights you'll get after speaking to a potential customer. So yeah, the best thing to do is just start working on it and start building on it and see where it takes you. Of course, then you can take a call. If it is shaping up in a really good manner, then you can probably, put down your papers and leave that job and start working on it full time. Correct? Or if you're working at a different business, then you can focus more effort and energy if it is giving you a more fruitful outcome here. So the most important thing is never sleep on ideas, and everyone gets that idea. Everyone gets ideas on a daily basis. If you're looking for it, you will be coming across multiple problems where you can find solutions. Correct? So you never ever should sleep on an idea.
So I think that was a very beautiful summarization to the podcast. And I tell this to my team and to everybody that this is the line I love is execute more, think less. Because you eventually figure it out.
Exactly. You just there are 10 problems. So this is how I figure. There are 10 problems which I have to sort at this point, right? There are 10 problems I can think of which I have to sort out for Zipro. What I do is whichever has the most impact, which solve them first, which will be more meaningful.
Exactly.
Get after them, and then the other things will just fall in place. And you just have to tackle one problem at a time. You cannot tackle all 10 of them, because then you will be all over the place. Correct? So the most important thing is picking the right problem, working on it, and just moving on to the next. And whatever aspect of the life you are in, whatever you're doing, it's all about solving those problems. Correct? There would be problems thrown at you left, right, and center. Even if you're working at a job or you're building a business, or whichever aspect of your life you are in. Correct? Doesn't matter. You will be thrown problems. It's just that you have to get used to it and start solving them. And that is what will give you answers for the next step. Correct? Once you've solved one problem, that will give you probably solve 3 other problems, and then you'll be down to only 2 or 3 problems.
Now that I'm thinking, life itself is a problem solving, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I absolutely loved it, Akshay. Thank you so much इस क्लिप को एंड तक देखने के लिए. अगर आपको ऐसी ही इंटरेस्टिंग एंड वैल्यू एडिंग क्लिप्स देखनी है, देन ड्रीम विद नीरज क्लिप्स को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए. Until then, keep dreaming. I'll see you in the next one.